Yes.
Gary's rolling. Graham Duxbury.
Yeah.
You've been a long-time supporter of Hall Speed, of Glen Hall, of the Dakar effort. Finally, it's come right. It's fantastic, isn't it?
You know, if you look at the first car that Glenn and Michelle from Hall Speed ever entered a car was 2002. So that is, 17 years that they've been trying.
You see, guys, that's why maths and science is so important.
Yeah.
Because not only can he count to 24, because Daytona 24-hour winner, but he got the maths right.
But I need to ask you a question. Are you interviewing me or am I interviewing you?
I'm
supposed
interviewing
to be
you.
doing the talking. Well, you're doing more talking than I am.
But got to give you a chance, Graham.
No, listen, I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. And, you know, the Dakar is such a long race, such a difficult race. And all of a sudden you get it right. Whether other guys have a problem, you don't have a problem. But then you look at the problems that, say, Janelle and Ten Brinker had, and Alatea, who is no better, I mean, brilliant driver, but he's not better than Ten, well, maybe. Fundamentally, that's not the difference. It's just which rock. Exactly, that's what I'm trying to say. And you hit the wrong rock at the wrong time, and that destroys your rally. And people say, oh, well, he's not doing well. Well, yeah, you hit one rock and you lose 4 hours. What are you going to do? To make that up is pretty much impossible.
You can't. But Janelle's still got a top 10 finish again.
Exactly right. No. Janelle's an absolute professional and will always be there. And I tell you what, Tim Brink is also good. There's no two ways about that. And Alatea, well, this is his third victory. So, you know, as people say he's wild, well, I tell you what, you don't win 3 Dakars by being too wild.
Well, you got to be fast. Sometimes looks a little bit wild from the outside, but as he's got older, it appears that he's matured a little bit.
You know, I think that is true, but also when you've got a 12-minute lead and then a 24-minute lead, you're able to just take it down a notch. And where you're not sure, you just lift off a bit more. Whereas if you're trying to make up those 24 minutes, you can't lift off, you've got to take a chance.
As we saw,
so it all compounds.
As we saw with Peter Hansen.
Exactly right. That's exactly the point.
So now it's not just Dakar that you're interested in. You're off to America next week, or your car's there. You're going to watch your sticker with a couple of good drivers in it?
Yes, Kamui Kobayashi, and then there's another chappie from Spain.
Can you speak Spanish yet?
No, I can't, but maybe after this week I will. You know, I've got a menial task with Wayne Taylor Racing next week to make sure that the drivers and the physios are always in the right place at the right time. So in the next week, I guess I'll be spending a lot of time with Jordan Taylor and Renga, and obviously Fernando and Kamui. So it's going to be a great week for me.
That is a mega lineup for Daytona 24, and it's got to take you back to, what is it, 1970? 84 with an 84G and a Porsche.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was a fantastic victory as well. So that sort of puts me in a good stead to have a chat with Fernando. But what I'm really interested in is, as you're aware, that Fernando is looking at doing off-road or rally raids and potentially Dakar with Toyota because of his involvement in the WEC. So I guess we can have some really good conversations about what the Dakar is. Now, obviously, he would be very friendly with Carlos Sainz, who would tell him even more. But I guess we can, over breakfast, have some good conversations about what this team offers and who Glen is, who Hall Speed is, and who Toyota Gazoo Racing is in South Africa.
I think that's an important point, where what Toyota Gazoo South Africa is in the global context of rally raid off-road racing. They are, well, clearly they're now the champions, they won the toughest thing, but it's not a Mickey Mouse outfit.
Oh, no, and that's exactly the point. You know, one thinks that, I think when we first entered, we were really the new boys in the rock. I'm talking from a Toyota perspective, and still did well. Now we are as professional, as great as any of the teams, the Peugeots, the Minis, and anybody else we've been competing against the last 7 or 8 years.
But also in true South African style, it's done with a little bit more the output for the level of number of people and the fanciness. It's not on the level of sheer opulence that the Peugeot and Mini teams have, but it's a business team.
Oh, absolutely. They spend their money where the money has to be spent. So it's great to have huge motorhomes and so on, but that is not what's going to win you a Dakar. The Dakar is going to be won by good organization, solid engineering, and cars that will be tested and tested and tested again.
So, Graham, in terms of my interviewing skills, I started off with a little bit rocky. How are we going now?
No, it's perfect now. Now you're not talking so much. Thanks so
great.
much.
Thank you very much. And Graham, good luck in America next week. It's going to be fantastic following it. Cheers.
Well, ciao, man. Thank you.
Thanks. Right, guys.